How's it going, guys? It's Ace here, and welcome back again to another video, where today I'm going to be showing you how I turned these guys into these guys. So yeah, hope you all enjoy. Let's jump into it. Okay, before we actually jump into it, I just wanted to go on a little side tangent here just to get a little bit off my chest because it's been irking me. So these guys are from FNAF AR, which is a FNAF mobile game. I think it's kind of like a Pokemon Go ripoff, unless I'm thinking of another game. But yeah, these are the characters from that, and they're basically just reskins of the toy animatronics, as you can see here. This is very clearly just Toy Bonnie with a orange reskin and a few ridges. So why, I may ask, why Funko do you release these guys first and not the originals? I mean, you clearly have the basis for them, so why not? The fans would love it. I believe I read on an article somewhere that they don't want to release the FNAF 2 animatronics because they're too creepy, but I mean, isn't that like the whole appeal of FNAF? Like, these dudes are supposed to be creepy, they're not supposed to be cute. Well, the toy animatronics are supposed to be cute, I guess, but you know what I mean, they're still creepy. And again, I get the point of trying to market it towards kids, you know, that's gonna make the most money or whatever, but I mean, actual real FNAF fans would buy the toy animatronics. Do not tell me they would not sell, because they would. I don't know, it just irritates me, and I really wish Funko would actually do something about it, but I have a feeling that they're never going to give them to us. Luckily for me, however, I have a little bit of artistic knowledge, so I'm going to be attempting to turn these guys into the actual toy animatronics so I can finally have them in my collection, and hopefully you guys will as well. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. I hope you all enjoy. Without further ado, let's actually jump into it. Alrighty guys, so here I am at my little workstation slash desk thing. So let's see, who are we going to start with? Oh, I guess I should say, you guys are probably wondering where High Score Toy Chica is, and I've actually already completed her. That's the whole reason I'm making this video right now, is because she turned out so well. Here she is. I'm not going to show her off too good just yet, I just wanted to show her real quick. But yeah, Toy Chica just ended up looking so great, and that's really what inspired me to go on to make this video here and do these two. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to show you guys my process with Toy Chica, but it's going to be roughly the same here with Toy Freddy, so I guess I'll go ahead and show him first. Yeah, we're going to start off with Toy Freddy here, so, or I guess I should say Live Wire Freddy, because that's what he is currently. I was actually kind of worried about this one at first because I thought I was going to have to use the VR Freddy, which is the only one I saw at the time at Walmart. And then I looked online and I saw there was actually one with a proper face, so I was so thankful that they made this version too. Like, that's just so amazing. I didn't want to have to sculpt his face because that would have taken forever. So yeah, the process with Toy Freddy here is going to be roughly the same as it is with Toy Chica. So what you're going to want to do is firstly just take his limbs apart, because you're going to have to do them one by one. So go ahead and do that. Move those to the side and we'll get to those later. So here is his torso and head. So as you can see, Toy Freddy has these little, like, I guess it's like circuit board wirings all over him. So what you're going to want to do is get a razor blade. Let me go get that actually. So yeah, you're going to want a razor blade. I have this safely wrapped up in some toilet paper. I know it's a little jank. And by the way, if you're like 15 or younger than that and you're watching this video, please ask your parents to help you. I don't want to be responsible for you guys getting hurt. So, you know, just be safe. That's all I'm going to say. Be safe if you're attempting to do this. So yeah, like I said, we're going to start off here and we're going to just slightly cut these off. Don't put too much pressure or you'll cut into the parts that you need. Okay, his torso is quite hard actually. So just like that. And there we go, that looks a little bit smoother already. So you're going to want to go ahead and do that all over the figure, and you're going to want to be really careful here on his face because he has them like all over here around his eyes and stuff. That's probably going to give me the most trouble too. But either way, if you do mess it up and you go a little bit too deep, you can always fix it with clay, but I will go in and talk about that later. So yeah, just go in there and try to cut off as much of these as you can, and then we will go to the next step. Don't forget his arms and legs. Wow, even his microphone. Okay, yeah, do that too. And then we will move on to the next part. Alright guys, so here I am a few minutes later. I honestly didn't do very much. I just did a little bit here on his stomach just to give you guys the general idea of what you're supposed to be doing. So once you have those off, it's still going to look a little bit rough, and you're going to want to get rid of that roughness with some very fine grit sandpaper. This is the brand that I use. It's called Gator Premium Sandpaper, and oopsie. This is the 220 grit sandpaper, so if you guys want to get the exact same thing as me, then there you go. So yeah, just go over here, over the spots that you've trimmed off, and give it a good sanding. So yeah, that is what it looks like there after the sanding. As you can see, it's all smooth, and that's how Toy Freddy is supposed to look. So I'm going to go in here now, and I'm going to do this all over his body. I'm not going to record it, of course, because that would take way too long to put in the video. But yeah, I'll probably just put on screen some pictures of him, and then we will go on to the next step. So yeah, do that all over him, and then we will move on. Alright guys, so here we are with the next figure in the set. Now this guy is going to be a little bit different than the Livewire Freddy and High Score Chica. As you can see, he has these little grooves all over him. Like all over his body, I'm talking, like even his hands, they have these little grooves. And that's not how Toy Bonnie looks. Now with this, you can't really just go in and cut those off, because if you do, he's gonna look a little like thin and weird, at least to me. I mean, I have seen some other people attempt this and they've sanded that down, but to me that doesn't really look that great. I don't know, it's just a personal thing for me. If you guys want to do it that way, you can, but I don't think it would look as good. So what I recommend you guys do here, let me move this stuff out of the way. I recommend that you use Milliput. Now, Milliput is a two-part clay that is used for multiple things. Like, it's mostly like a household thing, like you just like fix chips on like furniture and stuff, and maybe a toilet seat you gotta crack in, you know, you can put that in there and it'll make it all new again. But you can use it on crafts too, and that's what I'm going to be doing today. So yeah, I'm going to demonstrate here. So this is what you have in your box whenever you get it. You're gonna have these two little clays. One's like a cheese looking color, and the other one, this one looks like a dog turd, honestly. It's not supposed to be that color, but this one's just old. That's the reason it looks so turd-like. But yeah, it's going to be like a dark gray color. There we go. As you can see, that's the innards of it right there, and it's supposed to be this light gray color. So I don't recommend you get a lot of this clay. That'll probably be the perfect amount right there. So just get you the same amount from each. Alrighty, so once you've got it all nice and mixed up, it should be this like grayish cheese color, like, yeah, just old cheese, I guess. So what you're gonna want to do is just smush it onto him like this, and as you can see, like it's kind of like going in those grooves already. Whoops. Yeah, like this is what I meant. You're gonna have to get some water on your hands in order for this stuff to really work. So yeah, like I said, just do like that and wet the stuff, and just try to get the clay in these grooves as much as you can. This is what I'm gonna do here, is just smush it down and really force it to go in there. Why am I doing this on his arm first? Okay, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm just doing this for the demonstration, so you guys will get the idea. So yeah, as you can see, it's going in those grooves pretty well, and with the help of the water, it's really filling that up. Yeah, just like that. As you can see, it's already down in those grooves, and that's exactly what you want. So you're gonna want to go ahead and do that all over the entire figure. His fingers will probably be the most difficult place to do, so I recommend you guys maybe get a toothpick or something in case it gets down inside the grooves there, so, or, you know, between his fingers, I mean, so you can make those look all nice and spiffy. But yeah, just go ahead and keep doing this method all over the entire figure, and then whenever you're done, I will get back to you guys. I'm going to be doing this here for a while, so it's going to be like an hour or so for me, and probably like 5 seconds for you guys. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next step. Alright guys, so once you have completed those steps, you should now have your 3 figures that look like this. You know, Toy Chica should be right here, but I've already finished her. You know the deal. So, you know how I said that would take like an hour or so for me? Yeah, I was wrong. I was really, really wrong. It took more like 2 weeks. mostly because I was procrastinating a little bit, but I also had to work and just do a bunch of stuff. But if you were to do this continuously without any breaks, realistically, it would probably take you around 3 hours or so. But yeah, I finally got them done, and Bonnie is looking all smooth, no more ridges in him that I can see. There may be some here and there, but you know, they're not going to be that noticeable. And Freddy is looking pretty smooth. Now, before I move on to talking about the painting, I do want to give one more step here that you can do with Freddy because this is pretty important. But this step here is mostly optional. If you want to skip this and go ahead to the next step, then you can feel free to do so. This just helped me out a lot. So, if you guys followed my steps correctly, then you would have gotten your razor blade, and you would have snipped off all these little bits of circuit board wirings that were on him, and all the little square bits that were on Toy Chica. And sometimes it can leave little, oh, okay, just gonna take his leg off. Let's see if I can find an example. Here, I guess, I don't know if you guys can see, but it can leave these little, like, cut marks, and like you can really tell that it was like snipped off. So what you guys can do to get rid of that is actually use acetone. Yes, that says acetone, it does not say acetone. Or in other words, nail polish remover. Now it's really important that you have the 100% acetone, because if you don't have that, then the other mixes are going to be more diluted. So I would recommend getting 100% if you can. Now with this, what we're going to do, we're going to just get a Q-tip here, dab a little bit in there, and where does leg go? Okay. You're just gonna go around and smoothen these little bits out here. Now don't do this for too long, because if you do, then you're going to definitely melt the plastic, and you do not want to do that. So I would say at most do this for maybe a minute or so, and then afterwards go and run it under some really hot water to get that stuff off. But yeah, if you guys do not wash this stuff off within a reasonable time, then it will most certainly melt the figure, and I learned my lesson with that whenever I was 10 years old, and I melted Randy Orton's face that day. It was not fun. But yeah, this step is only optional. Again, this won't completely solve the issue, but it will make it look more smooth and be less noticeable. And it really helped me a lot, and I wish I had done this with Toy Chica, but you know, I was just so impatient to get her done. But yeah, I'm doing it for these, so if you guys want, then go ahead and do that all over the figure, and then we will move on to the next step. Alright guys, so now we're going to be moving on to the painting section of the figures. Now, this is arguably the most important part, because this is going to really make or break your custom, so I recommend that you guys take your time on this one the most. Now, I'm not going to show you guys my whole process with painting these, that's just something you're going to have to know how to do yourself, but I am going to give you guys some tips here, and I'm going to give you guys recommendations on paint brands. So keep in mind guys, you are paying like 10 bucks for these figures, or even more so if you're paying for some of the more uncommon ones, so you're going to really want to spend your money well and buy something that's going to last. So with that, I would recommend that you guys buy this brand right here, if you have the budget for it, of course. If you don't, then I will talk about this brand in a moment. But my most recommended brand of paint is Citadel. This stuff is mostly used by people who make little D&D figures, but it's really good for bigger customs too like this, and it's personally my go-to brand for customization. The reason I like this stuff so much is because you can use just a little bit of it and it goes such a long way. Like with other little cheaper paints, you have to use like so much of it and you have to cake it on there and like use 3 or 4 layers, but with this stuff, it's typically only 1. And it's also really opaque, so like the white here, you would only need to really do 1 layer of that stuff and you would be good. I suppose you could paint multiple layers with this stuff, but I've only ever had to use 2. The top base color, which is white, and then the color on top, and it's usually good to go. But if you really want that color to pop, then you should do 3. I don't know if Citadel sells primer or not, but if you guys are interested in using primer, then that's something to look into. But yeah, Citadel is my #1 recommended brand. Get it if you can. But also this stuff is a little expensive, so if you cannot afford this, then we will talk about the next paint here. So if you guys cannot afford some of the more expensive high dollar paints, then that's totally understandable, you know, we have to work with what we have. So I'm going to recommend you guys a brand now that is pretty well accessible to everyone. It's the cheapest that you're going to get anyway, and that is Apple Barrel Paint. Now you can usually find this at Walmart. I think you can get it at Target too, but I'm not sure, but most of the time you're going to find this at Walmart. Now this stuff is really good and it can take you a long way if you use it right, but then again this stuff is cheap. It's like 99 cents for a single tube here, so it is going to have some downsides to it, like it can chip very easily, again if you don't use a sealer. You should use a sealer once you're done painting anyways, but you know, Citadel is a little bit less prone to cracking and stuff, but Apple Barrel is very prone to that, so you would definitely want to use a sealer if you use this brand here. I used it for my customs personally because I'm not going to be playing with these guys, like I'm not going to be roughhousing them or like tossing them in boxes and stuff, so if you guys are planning on playing with them, then I would suggest probably getting Citadel if you can, or something, or like a really strong sealer, because this stuff will crack off if you guys attempt to roughhouse them. Again, there's downsides to both of these paints, but Apple Barrel is really the option you want to go with if you are just on a budget and you don't plan on roughhousing these guys. And what you're going to want to do is just paint these guys completely white. I know that sounds weird, but if you guys are not experienced with painting, basically this is going to make the color pop out a lot more, because if you were to just paint the colors like brown on here, then it would probably not look as good. So you're going to want to definitely do a layer of white on top before you get into the color. So basically just make these guys completely white and then you can move on to your colors. So I feel like I'm forgetting something here. Oh yeah, okay, I remember now. So once you get these guys completely painted white, you're going to want to leave one thing on them blank, and that is their eyes. Do not paint on their irises. You can paint them white, but that's all you should do. Like, do not attempt to paint on their iris unless you really are good with small painting stuff. Because I attempted to do this with Toy Chica and it just did not really look good. Like, typically whenever you're painting small, it does not turn out that great. An example here again with my Funko Pop, if you can see, I'll probably zoom it in, but yeah, I attempted to paint my logo on my shirt here, and that is a Mountain Dew bottle if you cannot tell, and it just turned out pretty bad. I honestly wanted to print out some decals for this and redo it, but I mean, I've already painted it, so I'm not gonna bother. But yeah, with the figures, I will provide you guys with a decal, but I'll get into that after we have them all painted. So yeah, just paint them up normally, paint them white, and then give them the colors that they need, and then leave their eyes white, and then we'll move on to the next step. I think that's all I got to cover, so yeah, go ahead and do that, and then we will get to the next step, like I said. Alrighty guys, so once you have got them fully painted, they should be looking pretty well close to done here. I'm just going to go ahead and say right now that these guys are not perfect. I did not follow my rules 100%. Like, I could have took way more time on these guys than I did. Like, as you can see here on Toy Bonnie, like the ridges are still kind of visible, especially near the lower part. I don't know, I guess I just didn't notice it whenever I was putting it on there, but I mean, it's okay. I'm not going to make a big fuss about it. After all, I could go back later if I really wanted to fix it, because it does bother me a little bit, but you know, it's going to be on the shelf and it's not going to be that noticeable whenever it's just there in the lighting. And Toy Freddy, I mean, he turned out pretty well for the most part. There is a little bit of jagged edges here around his eyes because I didn't take more time to really smooth those out, but I mean, overall it's fine. You can't really notice it from like far off like this, so overall I'd say that both of these guys were a pretty good success, and I'm like 95% happy with them, and that's better than like half, so yeah. So the last step here we're going to be doing to them is applying their iris, which I've already done to Toy Chica here. As you can see, I've already printed out the Let's Party bib and the blue eyes because I could not paint those. Like, I attempted to, I really did, but it just ended up looking so bad. I cannot paint Tiny. Again, if you guys can, then go ahead and do it, you know, be my guest, but for me it was just so difficult and I just didn't want to do it, so I went ahead and printed these out, and it looked so much better in the end. Toy Freddy does not want to sit up. Okay, whatever. But anyways, I will have this link down below where you guys can go and download these little decals here that I put together, and I probably will add like a quarter or something here. That way you guys can like really measure it and get it to scale and make it look accurate. So for the purpose of the video here, I'm not going to do it to these guys because I've been working on them the entire time. One that absolutely drives me crazy is Funtime Foxy. Like, his irises are just so like very bright, like they're very like neon yellow and you can barely see them. So I wanted to print out some new ones that look a little bit more accurate to the actual in-game model, and I'm going to be putting it on this figure. Alrighty, I finally got those cut out there, and as you can see they are very tiny. That was much more tedious than it needed to be. Like an X-Acto knife would have made that go by so much quicker. So this is going to be kind of complicated for me to show you, but I will attempt it. So what you're going to want to do is get you guys some Elmer school glue, or I guess you could use some super glue, but you know, if you mess up the first time, then it's going to be there forever. So I would recommend doing this so that way you can like maneuver it a bit if you need to. So yeah, get you some school glue. It doesn't really matter if it's gel or not, that's just what I have. And we're going to just get a little dab of it here and put it on the, put it on the back of the decal. Then we're just gonna rub some glue on the back, and then try your best to get it over the eye as much as you can. Alright, so I think that's as good as we're gonna get right there. I must say I'm not really a fan of this little dark shadow here. I might actually end up redoing this figure because it just looks kind of off to me, but who knows, it might grow on me. But yeah, you're gonna want to go ahead and do that on the other side as well, and then do it for the other figures too. And also you're gonna want to put Toy Chica's little decal here on her bib. It's gonna be pretty easy, it's just a little square. It's much easier than the eye, so you shouldn't have much trouble with that. But yeah, you may have to cut the eyes just a little bit off the top just to make it fit in there underneath the iris, like I said, because this one looked really goofy if I didn't do that. So yeah, go ahead and do that to your figures, and then give them one more coat of sealant, and then you should be all good to go. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I will show you guys the finished result. Alright guys, so once you have all their decals put on, you should now be 99.9% done with them. Now what is that last 1%, you may ask? Well, I'm gonna show you. So these guys seem pretty complete for the most part, except for one thing. These two are missing their accessories, so we are going to give that to them. Toy Freddy here, of course, he has his microphone, and Mangle, of course, has his little hook there, so they are pretty much complete. But Toy Bonnie and Toy Chica are missing their accessories. As you know, Toy Bonnie, canonically, at least at first, had a red guitar, like FNAF 1 Bonnie did. And Toy Chica, of course, she is missing her iconic Mr. Cupcake. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but while I was putting the clay on Bonnie, I also went ahead and made this little plate for Chica to hold. And the high score Toy Chica actually comes with this little cupcake here, but it really does not look like the one we need. It's more like an 8-bit version of him. Now, you guys could use this if you want, and the original plan for this was to add clay to this to make it look like the FNAF 2 cupcake. But while I was in Walmart the other day, I was looking through like the toy section in like the game area, and I found something that is much better than this. And that thing is Bitty Pops. Specifically this guy right here. That's right, we're going to be using the Funko Bitty Pop of Mr. Cupcake for her cupcake. I suppose you could use the FNAF 1 Chica's cupcake, but it looks the exact same, so you don't really want to do that. The cupcake in FNAF 2 is actually a lot more cuter and more rounded, so I thought this guy right here would actually be perfect for that. The only thing that's a little bit different is I think the eyes are a wee bit bigger in the game, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. I also got this other set here. I just did this for fun because if I'm going to get one, might as well get the other, right? Pretty cool little figures, I'll say. Now, the only question is, can I get these out of here? Okay, there's a screw. That's interesting. This is my first time seeing these, by the way. I didn't like look into these at all. I just wanted to see if I could do it. It's got these little thing. Oh, okay, wonderful. I don't have to cut it open. But there is a little screw right here. I don't know if I can just like pull that out because I mean I'm gonna glue this to the plate anyway. So like, maybe I can unscrew it with my razor blade. Let's see. Man, this is a long screw. They really did not want this base coming out of him. Okay. There we go. Okay, oh god. Alright, there he is. Finally got him off of the base. I'm just gonna set that to the side because, well, I'm probably not going to realistically put him back in here, but, you know, if I ever did, then there it is. So, he does have this little bit here, which I'm just going to cut that off with the razor because I know I'm not going to put him back in the box. And then we're just going to glue him onto the little thing here. Alright, and after a minute or so of drying, there he is. That looks perfect. Now let's put him in Chica's hand. Just put him in her hand there. Okay, he does not want to go. But yeah, look at these two together. They are so perfect. Like, they are made for each other. I am so thankful that Funko made this. So yeah, Chica has now been reunited with her cupcake. Now the only thing left to do is give Bonnie his iconic guitar. And for that, we are going to be using FNAF 1 Bonnie. That's right, buddy. I'm going to be stealing your guitar. But don't worry, I got other plans for you. You know what's crazy? I've never actually opened one of the OG FNAF figures before, so this is kind of new for me. Like, I still have my original set from 2016 whenever they first came out, and I never opened them. Orange Foxy and everything. As a matter of fact, the High Score Toy Chica was the first figure that I actually physically touched before. Okay, there we go. Got a nice shiny red guitar. On the hindsight, I probably could have used a bootlegs guitar, but I really just didn't want to do that because I do have a plan for this figure anyways, which will probably be coming in the next video or so. Well, probably not. Probably like the next 2 or 3 videos because I got other plans even after these guys. Oh my god, I love the smell of new toys, guys. Like, that plastic smell, it's so toxic, but I love it. This feels really odd compared to these other guys here. I mean, I know it's the FNAF 1 models, but still, like, they feel kind of rough. I'm used to feeling the smooth ones, but it's a nice change. Wait a minute. What? Do you guys see this? I think I have a factory defect here. Like, he has 2 left hands, or yeah, right hands, I guess. Well, that sucks. I mean, God, what do I do now? Well, I mean, I don't really need this arm, because what I was going to turn him into, he doesn't have this, so I suppose it's just a lucky accident. This isn't really needed after all, but still, that kinda sucks. Look at that. 2 freaking right hands. Oh, okay. Come on, Funko, do better here, and give us the actual toy animatronics so I don't have to make them. Okay, he does not want to hold his guitar. I've been trying for the past minute to get him to hold this thing, and he just will not do it. So I'm probably going to have to get some sticky tack or something to put on his stomach to make it look like he's holding it, but I mean, that's alright. I know it wasn't made for this figure, so I'm not going to complain too bad. So I guess now I'm going to be going and setting this up to make it look all pretty, and then I will show you guys the final product, and then we will end off the video. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you what I came out with. Let's do it. Alrighty guys, so once you have completed all those steps, you should now have something that looks like this. And man, oh man guys, I gotta say, these things look phenomenal. I'm not usually the type to brag about my art or whatnot. Like, I like to just, you know, let other people give me the praise, but I mean, I gotta talk my shit here. Look at these guys. Like, they absolutely look amazing. Like, so accurate to the game. There's a few things here and there that I could pick on, like, for instance, Bonnie's ridges there. I could have did a bit better on that. And, yeah, I guess that's it, really. That's the only thing that really bothers me. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm still just so happy with these guys. They look so, so amazing. I guess another nitpick I could say is, well, not really a nitpick. I was indecisive with this. As you can see, Funtime Foxy has these little silver pegs in the middle, but all these guys have black ones. So I really wasn't sure if I wanted to paint their silver or paint Funtime Foxy's black. So maybe you guys can let me know what to do. I'm afraid if I paint them silver, then, you know, it'll chip off over time. But I mean, I'm going to have them on the shelf anyway, so it won't really matter, but still. Just something to think about. But yeah, I'm not going to do an in-depth review of them right now. I'll probably save that for another video. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to show you a few B-roll shots here of them because they just turned out so amazing, and I cannot be happier. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you have all enjoyed because this video was a lot of fun making. I really do look forward to making more FNAF content on the channel because truly FNAF is what I've always been interested in, you know, like FNAF, scary stuff, creepypasta, just things like that, you know. That's what I've always been interested in making, and it feels good to actually be doing that now. I have a few older FNAF videos on my channel, but those are not good. Don't watch those. But now that I think about it, I'm actually glad I didn't go all in with FNAF back then because the videos would not have been as good quality like they are now. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the future. It's looking really bright. So yeah, just as a final few words here, if you guys do end up making the toy animatronics, then feel free to send them to me. I would love to see you guys' results, because that's just the best part of making these videos, honestly, is you guys showing me your results. I love seeing what you guys create because of me. So yeah, if you guys are interested in doing that, then you can find me on my socials down below, and I will definitely check those out. And lastly, just let me know what other videos you guys would like to see from me. You know, I want to do more FNAF stuff, so anything within that category, I would definitely look into it. I definitely feel like some more customs are going to be on the way though, so that's probably going to be one. But yeah, whatever you guys have, then suggest it to me and I might check it out. Alrighty guys, well that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you have all enjoyed. Please leave a comment down below, hit that like button, and if you're not already, please subscribe. And also hit that little notification bell to be alerted whenever I upload. Hope you liked the video, and I'll see you all in the next one. This is Ace,